lessons. We assisted with administering the medicine, so that's how we learned our craft.
Go ahead.
All right.
Ready.
So, this is a medieval arrow, all right? And what's special about this arrow is that the arrowheads are attached to the shaft only with a little bit of beeswax. So they're made to come off. So when you pull the shaft, when somebody gets shot with an arrow, and you pull the arrow shaft out, the arrowhead stays inside. And the top of the arrowhead is shaped, a little dish shape, so that if you tug on it, it will come out. It gets stuck on all the muscles inside the leg of the person you shot or wherever you shot it, okay? So for that reason, we have to use surgery to get the arrowhead out, right? And that's what we're going to be doing here today. All right. If you gentlemen want to see, we're operating right now. You want to watch. All right, so here's our unfortunate soldier. Whack.
Got hit with an arrow.
And the arrowhead is stuck inside. We'll see how bad it's stuck in. Bad enough he's pulling his whole leg. All right.
You want to pull on it?
Yeah.
All right, go ahead, you pull on it.
Yeah, go ahead. Give it a tug.
You know how much that hurts?
That would hurt.
Yeah, I sterilized the arrow last night.
Yeah,
so-
okay. All right. Yeah, so this arrow is stuck in there well. All right. So we're going to begin by pouring a little bit of vinegar on the wound to clean it off a little bit. We don't know why, but as it turns out, vinegar is going to cleanse that wound side a little bit and make it easy to see what we're doing. Because it's bleeding, of course, all over the place. Now, my able assistant is going to be using moss, lots and lots of moss. Because as I start working on this, it's going to bleed. And moss is twice as absorbent as cotton. So he's going to blot this constantly as we work. All right. Now, the arrow, we're not sure how that arrow is inside this wound. I mean, it could be this way, it could be this way, this way, this way. And we don't want to cut any more than we have to of this poor soldier's leg. So we're going to use what's called a probe to see how the arrow is aligned inside this leg. All right? And maybe...
Is your pig anesthetized?
Yes, he's received a concoction of
Why don't we
hemlock.
talk about that? Yeah.
Yes, he's received a tea. We just talked about a few minutes ago. A tea of hemlock and opium popping. All right, and so now he is anesthetized. Now, not as well as you would be today, because the doses are so inexact. We have to be very conservative how much we give these things. Opium or hemlock is a deadly poison, in just a little bit too much. So he's gotten mild doses of both, because we're not sure how much he can stand.
Imagine that poking into your leg, guys.
Well, he's got pain medicine. All right. And it appears the orientation is about like this.
Yeah, probably because
So I'm going to cut in that direction. We want to cause as little pain as we possibly can.
probably
All right, ready? Here we go.
Let's go.
Damn, it's going to bleed like crazy. Hopefully that's enough, okay? Now, all right. Now we have a special tool invented by one of the Muslim doctors in the hospital in Jerusalem called an arrow spoon. It's shaped in such a way that we can slip it in the wound, slip it against the arrow, and pull the arrow out. It'll grasp the arrow. All right, retractor, here we go. And we got it. Okay, now, dab, 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 dab. All right.
And pressure.
Right. Little vinegar. Yep.
So do your surgeons know yet about
And
cleaning
next-
the
no.
tools and...
No, we just...
We understand cleanliness, but we don't understand sterilization.
Okay.
Right. And now honey in the wound. Just toward the top of it, okay? But honey has amazing properties. Honey, because it's all sugar, is going to help slow the bleeding. It also has antibacterial properties. Here we go, ready?
Ready. So now we're going to suture the wound closed. It's a very deep and very wide cut. It won't heal on its own.
No, it's got to be sutured shut.
right, Jules, next time you cut yourself, I'm just going to do this with my furniture tapestry needle.
It's remarkably similar to
By the way, the very best needles in the 1100s come from Spain. They're steel needles, and they're so much better than the old clumsy iron ones. Okay, now we're going to go through, and I'll work my way up, just doing little whip stitches, but I'm going to take a little loop each time I do it. And this is going to help draw the wound more closely together. Now I'm kind of in a hurry because there's a whole lot of arrows in the Muslim army, okay? And a whole lot of guys get shot with arrows. And there's a whole lot of people who are waiting. So I'm no doctor, and my stitches are not as good as the surgeon that I watched operate in the hospital in Jerusalem. But this is just a whole lot better than dying from a nasty arrow wound that can't be pulled out.
Yeah. I don't know if like a can.
What?
I don't know if you can do this to a can. He'd like cut his finger on a can. Oh yeah, I was hoping we can.
we would dress it with,
Yeah,
and we dress it with vinegar,
dress it with vinegar and treat it with honey.
and then we put a bandage on it.
I wish I could make 3 cookies.
What's that?
I wish I could make 3 cookies.
Okay.
I said,
Well, he's not bleeding or screaming.
Now instead of
so
worrying
that's
about a
good.
knot, I'm just going to feed through it a bunch of times, the last little stitch. Okay?
either dehydrated.
And it won't come loose.
Right.
Here's my scalpel. All right, now more medieval magic.
Good, honey.
Honey on top of the wound. Followed by moss. I had a bandage already set over here that had the ends. Beautiful. Okay. All right, now. This is going to hurt you more than me. All right.
I don't like you just walking around
Depression?
getting it open.
Russian?
How about in your bag? You didn't bring it? That's it.
So they must have practically had to assembly line this
You have to
after
have
battle.
two. You got to have two because you're moving along pretty quick. All right, but now the nice thing about rags for bandages is that you pull them tight, they stay tight. Okay, so now he's got disinfectant. We didn't know it's disinfectant. It's disinfectant form of vinegar applied inside the wound. He's got honey on top of that. He's got moss on top of that. And the beauty about the combination of honey and moss is that when this bandage gets soaked with blood and starts smelling bad, we can take it off, pull it off, and because of the combination of honey and moss, it'll pull right off the wound without pulling off the scab. So in a month or so, he'll be ready to go do it again. And that concludes the demonstration.
Yeah, if he's not dead from unsterilized equipment.